We're out at John Tell Race Cars here, out in Blaine, and just going to show a little video of just a guy's shop. This is what we like to do, is show a little bit of variations of other people's shops and what they're building. And John is building some badass race car stuff, mostly drag car stuff that he does, but here's chassis work is what he specializes in. So this is one. Well, why don't you tell him what this car is, John?
It was a 86, I believe, Cutlass Oldsmobile.
G-body.
Yeah, G-body. It's about that G-body life. You can open the door too if you want to look in there.
And what's this tiny little 4-cylinder in it?
That is the stock engine that came in that car from the factory. It's a 665-inch aluminum block.
665 cubic inches. I bet you guys didn't know they came in these things stock.
Yeah, from the factory, yeah.
And look at those tiny little headers. And John made all these headers, the chassis and everything as well. And all this fab work here is all done in-house. And this is, what kind of times does he run with something like this?
This car, we don't know yet. It's brand new. It has not been run yet. This engine, this old car, has gone 480s in the 8th, and this car weighs about 400 pounds less, so we'll see.
So it should be booking. See, anything in the 4s is really moving and making some power.
Yeah.
So
That's getting
fiberglass doors. And a little bottle for your oxygen mask right there, and hook it up so you'll be happy if things blow up or anything. So
that's actually just to inflate the factory airbags in case of a crash.
And hey, so we got Power Glide in here then as well.
Yeah.
And 2-speed Power Glide, all your electronics, everything right in here. And so you did the whole cage and
Did all of it.
and all the stuff, all the mounting brackets for all the electronics and everything as well. And there's a lot of cage work right there. And what kind of certifications does this thing have then?
This car will be a dual certification. It'll certify down to 650s in the quarter mile at up to 3,600 pounds, I believe, or 6.0s at up to 3,200 pounds.
Okay, awesome. And I know we were talking a little bit earlier about that, is I was curious as well as how do we know about the certification, how you go about making a chassis. And why don't we touch base a little bit on that? And what is this car right here?
That is 74 Monte Carlo, or it will be. The body's in the garage next door.
74 Monte Carlo, and that explains, I guess, why the front end is like 8 feet long here. And wow, that's and what kind of certifications does a chassis is this then as well?
Same thing.
Same certifications for chassis. So 6.0s is what this is certified for. Yep. And John was explaining to me a little bit earlier about it's very, very specific in your certifications on the SFI books. You have to go by everything. It shows you where every brace has to be, where every tube has to be, how thick the wall has to be on it. And then when they certify it, how do they go about doing that, John?
They just look and make sure all the bars that need to be there are there, and then he has a little electronic sonic deal that ultrasonically measures the wall thickness of each tubing, and he will check every single tube to make sure it's the right wall thickness.
And then do they do the ultrasonics on all the welds too, or they just visually inspect them?
No, they just look at them, and if it doesn't look like Bubba from down the street did it with his frickin' stick welder, then you're good.
And then you do all the sheet metal work then as well. I see you got a bunch of sheet metal equipment over here, a brake, a shear, and a rear end fixture, bead roller.
Yeah, do all of it.
So awesome. And then I know we were just talking about also, John also is in the search for technology also, and does CNC plasma cutting and designs a lot of the stuff in Fusion 360. And but this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Is building Badazz doesn't have to come in a 1,000,000 square foot shop. You got a nice little chassis dig table set up right here, and our welding bench, and I know you had another chassis table that I was hoping to end up with that you had sold also. But this is what I'm talking about. Building Badazz does not need to come from a 10,000 square foot shop, and you can build badass stuff in your home garages and shops and everything too. So I don't want to just feature somebody that's coming out of a NASCAR shop that's just perfectly awesome, you know, epoxy floors and that you could eat off of if you drop your sandwich. But this is a very well laid out shop where you got a small space, but you have enough tools and equipment and everything to do it and to make some badass stuff happen. So you got your CNC plasma cutting table over here, you got your TIG welding set up over here, and a gantry crane for moving stuff around, your tubing benders, but you got enough room to move around and build two cars at a time here and build some really badass stuff.
Yeah, it's just metal. It's not smarter than we are.
Right. You just got to be smarter than the metal and tell it where to go. So, hey, thanks for having us out, John. It has been awesome, and I'd love to have you fire this thing up and we could do some burnouts with it, but yeah, we can't do that. or just to hear it run, because, oh my God, look at that. That is 5-inch exhaust right there. And oh, you want to take a trip right down inside of there, you can. Wow. What size primaries are these? 2.5-inch primary headers on there. And look at it, you can actually get at the spark plugs and everything still at 2.5-inch headers on there. Oh, they got mufflers on them too, so it's probably pretty quiet. And only 600 and some cubic inches, so it should be pretty quiet. Shouldn't raise any eyebrows that way. Well, thanks for having us out and showing us some badass stuff. That's what we're talking about right here, guys. Building badass at home in your shop. You can do it, people. Building badass, this is what it's all about. Don't forget to like this video. Click like, throw me a comment, let me know what you think. Ring the bell for those notifications when we get a new video. We got lots more coming up, guys. A lot of cool stuff coming up. I hope you guys are enjoying the ride.